Welcome back. It is the final day of Super Week. It's been a battle. It's been a whole hell of a lot of fun, especially for Joe and I. I'm sure the viewers at home, the players have probably been stressed out, but these matches have been absolutely bonkers, Joe. We just got a couple more, pal.
Yeah, we do. Obviously, some big ones here. One we thought, I think at the beginning of the season, would be a big one between OpTic and Florida. OpTic, they are proceeding very well. Florida still trying to get everything figured out, but you know, this is a match where, you know, you can learn a lot. You're going up a very tough opponent in OpTic Chicago. Oh, well, we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, I think we've seen teams learn a lot from playing your Empires, your FaZes, in the sense of like Subliners and Legion lately. I think they learned a lot. I think they learned they're a team that could battle and maybe make a run, but we'll see if the same holds true for the Mutineers. Let's meet their roster.
The dictionary defines redemption as the deliverance of persons or things from the possession and power of captors.
It is a 3-0 victory over the Florida Mutineers.
As the act of making something better. As the act of making up for a loss.
It is over, and that is a shocker for the Mutineers.
We define it as inevitable. You can count our KD. You can count our headshots. You can count our hill time. What you can't do is count us out.
Joe, I think what stood out to me is they just don't have a go-to mode right now. Like they're not great in hardpoint. They're not great in search. Like, they don't have something to rely on to get them deep into series. What's going wrong for them right now?
I mean, there's a whole number of things I think we'll get to. You know, we have our keys to victory. You know, they have a lot of first blood percentage in Search and Destroy. They're not converting rounds. You look at the respawn, just some inconsistent modes from inconsistent players. When we look at some of our better respawn teams, OpTic being one of them, it's a balanced effort from all four players. I just feel like that hasn't happened yet for Florida.
Yeah, we'll see if it can click. This would be a big time to get it done. I mean, you're not going to be starting in a good spot in the major, but can you get some sort of positive momentum going forward? That's what we're about to find out, but it's going to be tough because on the other side of this, we have OpTic Chicago, the monsters of respawn. Take a look at the roster.
Brutal, mighty keeps it going. Normal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna make it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
Joe, I know in a lot of like OpTic teams in the past, I feel like our combo has been, they look so good early and then maybe at times struggle to get better over the course of the year. For whatever reason, I feel like this team hasn't even gotten close to their ceiling.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's a big discussion point, right? You know, I think maybe this format sort of helps them with the group stage into the majors. If they're going to struggle at times, maybe we'll see some off matches from them, but the major will always sort of keep them motivated, or it should. I think another big thing is looking at this roster is Dashy just got brought back. Envoy wants to continue to find a lot of success. The other two, you're storied, right? You're world champions. But you don't want to let the two young guns down. So I think the motivation will be there no matter what. And I think the format helps them.
Yeah, I think having people like Dashy and Envoy that haven't, you know, gotten a world championship. I mean, think of the last time Envoy got to one and how disappointing that finish was with Gen G. Well, it's like a first round exit, basically, top 24. Like, yeah, there's some passion there that I think will help motivate Scump and Formal. I agree with you totally, but we take a look at the maps and modes. We're getting ready to hop into our first map. Hasn't really mattered what map they're on, and Respawn, OpTic have been lights out. A test early in this one for the Mutineers.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to Garrison Hardpoint. What is one thing maybe for the Florida Mutineers side? This is a map you were able to beat against Atlanta FaZe. Like, there are some moments for the Florida Mutineers where they've looked pretty solid. They really have. But for the OpTic Chicago, you know how good of a Garrison hardpoint team you can be. You know how good of a respawn team you can be. So no big worry there. But don't count out the Mutineers in this first map.
Well, Awakening, he has been an absolute monster over the past several years. We know Skies has been in the top AR conversation. Maybe not in that form right now with how they are playing, but can he get there? And he might need to in this matchup because he's going against some strong ARs on the other side of it. Speaking of which, Formal's POV to kick it off.
Now rocking that XM4 right now, just trying to watch the cross. Teammates controlling top green on the hill. It's going to be Awakening who finds the first one. Envoy trying to work through bottom middle. Neptune with some nice movement. Now he's going to get some help from his teammates. While that's going on, Dashy and Formal with their XM4s trying to get a little bit aggressive. A solid break there. You see Slack's position. You see Formal looking for him. He's trying to control top green, and well, that's a nice shot from Formal.
Yeah, that is going to happen at times. We've seen a lot of it this week with how hot teams can get, but Awakening right back with 2, and then on the other side, Envoy gets 2 of his own. Neptune with only 11 in the magazine. Trying to see if maybe he can make a play. Hopefully the lack of ammo doesn't hurt him in this fight. Well, he almost gets torched on the cross. He finally will drop. It's Dashy that hits the shots.
And you get this early setup if you're OpTic. But Skies and Slack going to find 2 kills. Envoy and Formal just trying to hold on. They want to control bricks. If they fly through top green, they can retake that control, so they're not too worried about it. You have the position of Dashy. He's able to find one, so they know the spawns are coming towards the backside now. So they're going to have to control it from the hill. Envoy just trying to wait for his teammates to watch over him. Scump trying to get across and get in the hill with that 74U, but not able to do so. As Neptune takes down 2, but Envoy stays alive.
Yeah, I think the fact Scump is 0-6 and you have hardpoint control in a lead, you gotta feel all right about that, because he's going to turn it around at some point. One of the more consistent slayers in the game, just not the hardest start. There you go. There's going to be the first kill for him. Get on the board, maybe get something rolling behind that, but almost a minute off the play clock already, and not a ton of time for either team. It's been pretty hotly contested, and we've seen some flips. But there will be the scrap time over to Mutineers. We head to third, that number 7 on the minimap, and Envoy already set up and waiting. Watching the cross is going to be Scump. He's in a position where he can slow down and stagger this push, or just eat a bunch of bullets from Neptune.
You split that time if you're OpTic, but you have the spawns for next. So now the Mutineers have to go back on the break. Awakening able to take down 2, and I think he tweeted out right before this, Demon Joe. So he is locked in for this map. Already up to 7 kills, and well, that's going to lead to the break. A nice break there, and it comes behind Awakening's double. It opens things up, wins another one-on-one. They should get the lead here and find the last 20 seconds of the hill.
He's on one right now. What did you say, Demon Joe? Yeah, 4 in a row, 9 and 5. Ooh. A wonderful break. Some nice shots to slow that down. Maybe make sure he doesn't ultimately get streaks if that terror continues. But Mutineers, great break, great time, and comes at a big moment early in the game where you don't want OpTic to get rolling.
Yeah, and it was a much-needed break, right? Because they split some of the time on second, but when you split the time that late, OpTic knew that they could just rotate on through. Yeah, it could have been a position where OpTic's up 30 or 40, but over to our 4th hill. OpTic just spawning them towards the back. You see Scump in a pretty good position, maybe to lock down that caution side, able to do so, just stagger the pushes. He's starting to now get heated on up. He's on 3 in a row. This is good time here from OpTic.
Well, they got broken once. I think one actually spawns up behind him from Mutineers. I believe that was Neptune, and he ends up shooting somebody in the back. That's got to be frustrating, but let's hear how they deal with the chaos. Let's go to an Astro listening with OpTic.
Hurt. I can't kill a guy. I'm one green.
On time, guys.
Yo, one guy's back tools.
Yo, I'm close to streaks. Help
One behind me. Neptune top green.
I'm close to streaks.
These are dead.
Light street wake. He's going top cat.
Neptune top green again. Remember bricks. I have a square, Brandon. I have a square.
Yo, back.
Get square.
I'm getting green.
I have green. He could be green from me. Back. He's on time. Hitting bricks.
Top green, Jerry.
Close. Wait.
Jerry, one back. Absolute.
I need help, you know.
Jerry, one square.
I can't kill the square.
Yo,
lights. I don't see square.
My game just crashed, bro.
Really?
Our game crashed. My game crashed.
Game crash. Two square. Ref, game crash.
Like, what the fuck?
Ref, game crash. Ref, game
crash.
crash.
Can we get an acknowledged, ref?
Ref, hello?
Acknowledge.
Right.
Acknowledged, yeah. Okay.
All right, well, you kind of heard game crash happen in the middle of this map. It was, what, about a 10-point game. I'm not sure what the ruling is going to be from the refs. Yeah, 5 points. Yeah, it was a very tight one. You kind of heard them trying to get confirmation from somebody. But with a game crash, I mean, to my knowledge, I assume we're going to be probably replaying this, but we'll have to wait and see what the call is going to be. But that is tough. But we did just hear there is going to be a fresh restart, which makes sense because that's not a player issue per se. That is the game itself. Unfortunately, crashing.
Really close,
so
right? I mean, it's basically tied. Nobody's even reached 100 yet. We're in the first rotation of hills. All right, little warm up for both teams. Okay. Welcome.
All right. Well, it's first time I think we've had that, but we'll just we'll hang tight here. Look at the best play from a map that does not matter, but it's Formal hitting some clean shots. And I guess what'll be interesting, it wasn't really all that clean for either team early. I talked about the fact that a minute was off the play clock pretty quickly. Nobody had a really solid hold through the first 3 hard points. What's it like when you get kind of another chance like this? What do you think you're talking about as a team?
Well, I guess from the OpTic side, they spun up on the side that they wanted, right? You get early control on second hill. The big focus for them will probably be second hill rotation. I honestly thought for Florida it was a pretty good job because they got they split the time on second. They had a solid break. Like there was an opportunity there where I think they were in a really solid position. So for Florida to try to do that again, but you got to think with Scump having that slow start, a couple of factors go a little bit differently, and it's much better for OpTic Chicago.
No, I said that for a specific reason though with Scump because I can't remember what title it was, but it happened so many times over like a month-long stretch where I'd commentate OpTic and Seth would get smoked out of the gate and then fry. I saw it so many times. Like a second I saw it, it just reminded me of it. And then what did we see? I mean, he was close to getting streaks then a minute later. So that happens from time to time. You just know he's going to catch fire at some point.
And Garrison can be a very tough map for submachine gun players. And what do I mean by that? It's like there's a lot of little areas and rooms where you can dominate, but sort of getting to those points can be really tough. With the XM4s on the map, top catwalk, you talked about a platform. There's just a lot of spots where the ARs can go and just annoy the heck out of you every single spawn. I feel like it's one of the maps when you can really get rolling and get in your positions with a sub. That's when he's going to go on those sprees. But that can be tough. It's not going to be the last time you see that out of an SMG player.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely correct. But just a reminder on how the maps and modes are going to go. Once we finish Garrison, we're going to spend an hour together on Checkmate. That'll be 2, 3, and 4 through the series. We're actually not leaving Checkmate or Garrison. Is there going to be a lot of that in this particular series? But yeah, not I guess a ton to really take away from the first set of it. We're only a couple minutes in. We'll have to focus on the replay here, make sure the guys can get reset. But you've got your share of veterans on either side of it. I doubt anyone's shaken by what was going on. And yeah, thankfully, not a hard call to make on the reset. Is like you said, close to a tie game. But OpTic, you still think you got to favor them in any respawn? There's no reason not to, especially with the form the Mutineers have been in. But I just find myself like these past couple days, rooting for the underdog a little bit, like with Legion and Subliners. See them make a run. The more competitive this is, the more people are battling, the more I think the major is going to be entertaining. But I think the only 2 teams I can think of that, for the most part, just at times, at least recently, haven't seemed like they even have a chance against some of the top teams is probably I don't know, Mutineers and maybe Ravens.
I mean, Ravens went to game 5, right?
They haven't made me. That's true. That's true. But
Empire.
I guess they just haven't made me believe yet. We're teams like Legion and Subliners, maybe people you didn't think could, make a run at a major. I've got faith now.
Well, I think for the Florida Mutineers, with the changes that sort of happened, I mean, we thought they were going to be a top 3 team in this group, really fighting against Toronto Ultra, and that has sort of really flipped on its head for both of those teams. So just the way this group has really played out, it's a little bit different. Now remember, coming into this match, Paris are the biggest Florida Mutineers fans on the planet, right? Because if Florida wins this, they get 3rd place. Where on the other side, Los Angeles Guerrillas, if OpTic wins this, they get 3rd place, just depending on those head-to-heads and the tiebreakers. So, for OpTic, you're 2nd place. That's kind of where you're staying at in this group, with Atlanta FaZe going undefeated. For Florida, if you win, you're going to move up a little bit, but you can't get to the winners bracket. The really two teams that we have to focus on the result of this is Guerrillas and the Legion.
And just for maybe new viewers or people that don't understand the format, like why is that top 3 position so important?
Yeah, so top 3 teams are going to start in a winner's bracket in the major that starts on Wednesday. That's double elimination. So, I mean, you can lose twice, which is much better than if you're in the loser's bracket, lose once you're out.
Yeah, it puts so much. That's why I just love the style of this. And, you know, is there always ways to improve the league and format? Sure, but man, does it put a lot of pressure on these matches. You have got to turn up and be ready every single day you're going to get on the map. And who's going to be able to do that today? Even though you said the outcome affects other teams more than it does these two. But so far, we're watching Neptune as he's making some plays. Formal and Scump both going to drop. Neptune, one of the newest players to the league, trying to leave his mark. But Skies is a guy I'm going to be watching, man. Like, it just felt, we talk about people that are locks for a 1.2, just always on the map, putting up good KDs. He hasn't found that form yet, but I just feel like he's going to get there.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can find it. One of the big things is in search and destroy. Talk about that a little bit later, but you know, off that break, we talked about sometimes how can the reset either hurt you or not. We talked about for OpTic, they would have another shot at second, you would think, but they actually lose the rotation early on. It was Awakening and Skies who they sort of spawned out just due to the skirmish on the first hill. But OpTic Chicago, a bit of break on through towards the front side. They had a lot of pressure, and this is kind of what we saw the first time around. They're going to split the time. OpTic's going to control the front. And basically what this is going to lead for them is they're going to have spawns for that third hill.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you just want to keep them out of the point from the front. If you can get some time on top of that and help the spawns, I mean, that's just the perfect scenario, and that's exactly what they're doing. Dashy and Scump working together here to hold off the push, and they do it beautifully. Now we need to flip to the other side of this rotation as the teammates are going to start to deal with the other pinch, and it's Envoy that goes big. So you win it at the front of Old, you win it on transition to next, and look where 3 players are spawning out from Mutineers all the way back by Old. You've got great control of next.
Yeah, no, this is where the 4 Mutineers were able to break. I mean, it's basically like the same score line. It's just they had a break here. Dashy's on 5 in a row. We'll keep our eyes on that to see if he can earn some streaks. You know, once she gets around 6 or 7, that's when those points really start to add on up. Able to win another one. Up to 6 now, you know he has to play it in the back of his mind, and they held. What? Who was it? The break last time it was Awakening, and he wins that one-on-one. Slacked up front. I would love to see Dashy back up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Just back on up, or have someone bait for you.
Have a teammate you can bait. Yeah. That's all I was thinking the whole time while you were going through. I was like, someone please just get in front of this guy so you can get an easy trade for streaks. But you got a 50-point lead. No streaks, though, unfortunately, if you're OpTic. But Mutineers, I guess, make it a little bit better of a situation than they could have, considering the supreme control you had at that point if you were OpTic. But now, next hard point, let's go over to 4th. Mutineers in a much better spot this time. They've got to win some fights around mid, and well, Neptune doing it all. Neptune gets 2. I think Skies must have probably put 1 bullet in somebody. It felt like Neptune got them all, but they combine to take down 4. They pick up the one that spawns out. Beautifully done here by Mutineers. Yeah,
it's great awareness right there out of Awakening, just to realize that, all right, this player's probably going to spawn there. Just, you know, we know how this hill can be. We don't have someone all the way back there. Awakening, he's on a little spree now. Sorry, Skies. But, you know, they picked that up, and, yeah, this is a good hold. They're right back into the game now, only down 13 seconds.
Guys, he's on 5 in a row now. Got to be getting close to streaks. We got to watch this. I want to get to another listen in shortly, but I want to see how this stretch goes for Skies first to see if he's able to get on. The swarm is coming in. Not going to happen, so OpTic will shut it down. In the first listen in, we mostly got the guys yelling at a referee. This time, we're hoping it goes a little bit better. Let's get to it after listening with OpTic.
I
don't see anything low.
He's under lights,
Top green. I'm looking.
Square hill.
I'm watching top green.
Yeah, he got me low square.
Talking time.
He's in bricks.
Bricks dead. One more time.
One green and one at a time.
Talking time.
Bricks.
Kill me, Wake. He's back left. He's in bricks again. One time.
I'm light.
Left time peeking. Caesar. I'm going back left. Someone help me through, Wake.
He's fucked up, Caesar. Caesar, 2 on time. 2 in bricks right now.
Wake
and
up,
1 small.
Wake dead.
Caesar back left.
I'm looking bricks.
Small. I spawn out.
Bricks. I need help. Two bricks.
We can have. They're both split out.
Vent spawn.
I'm pushing. Nice. Dead. All dead.
Back
I'm in
up,
Lemon. Do they spawn? Yo, Wake under really weak. He went in vent. He's really weak. I think they.
Three spawn lights.
Yo, Wake was that.
I'm looking vent. Vent's not coming out.
Yeah, I got your Wake. One shot Wake actually. He's hitting vent.
Okay.
He went back.
Lights still dead. I'm only green.
One more lights. I spawn behind them lights.
Caesar dead.
One's still back. I don't know where Wake is.
Wake's vent. We gotta kill this guy.
Back our mid. I'm one shot.
Lights.
I'm absolutely in time.
They all lights then. All lights.
I have a trophy set.
No, wait. One behind you guys. Plat too.
Lights
Plat.
Catsters. And one behind you.
Spawn green. Hang on.
I got one.
Wake.
Nice. Two. I'm going green.
Watching the flat side out. I'm looking low mid for you guys.
Caesar really. He's half.
I have low mid.
He's just not
I
down.
have all of your mid. I have your push still.
Time. I'm staying down.
Push.
Top plat still.
Pushing. Never dead.
There's no one here.
I'm
Top floating and top down.
Yeah,
Yo, low green on you guys. On top of me. What's low green?
I'll see the guy low green.
He ran out or some shit.
Thanks, Wake.
Caesar on old. Two of them. I don't.
Top. Is one at new?
Nothing new.
It's
old Neptune weak. I'm staying on square. I might get fucked, guys.
I'm holding the back. Your front lights.
Square. Slack, one shot square. Slack.
Lights,
guys. Laying down one shot square, one shot slack. Laying down square.
There's 2.
I think one particular moment I liked from that listen-in was the urgency in Scump when he was outside of bricks. He's like, I need help. And Dashy's like, Papa's here. He comes over, he kills all 3. Scump plays as well. Life beautifully. Nice little sequence there, but they still find themselves down 14.
Yeah, this second hill a little bit's giving them some trouble. Florida doing a great job breaking through bricks. I mean, on the replay, that's basically 3 times in a row. The difference maker, they don't have someone top green. Awakening was able to take down Formal, so he doesn't buy time for the reinforcements to really break through the front. That doesn't come in, so now you have about a 30-point lead for the Florida Mutineers, and this next hill will have to be big for OpTic Chicago to keep them in it. And yeah, you talk about that. I think Formal was making sure, like, hey, could they be at the nice hill? He was like, no, they are not there, I promise you. But still, the break comes in. Awakening, he continues, 51 points. See if OpTic can bring it right back.
Last time it was maybe a little bit less clean than you would have liked it to be, but they're enjoying a similar setup. Posted up. Mutineers looking for the opening. Can they get it done? Slack's going to get the first kill. Might be a chance. Dashy, is he going to get bad timing? I thought for a second he was. Then it was wondrous timing. Both line up. I thought they were going to cross and line up again. He was going to kill all 4, but Formal's able to do it. Envoy there as well. 4 drop. They spawned close, though, because nobody was pushed out towards mid or pushed up their front side, so they'll hit it again, but it's been flawless around the objective so far for OpTic here. They brought the game right back.
Yeah, much better hill from them. But coming up next, this is where Florida, right, they fought right on back. We'll see if they can have a similar setup here at the 4th hill. It's going to be slacked. It'll be Awakening. Trying to deal with the OpTic push over here towards Plat. They're a 2-for-2 trade. Skies, he was on the hill last time. That's where he got his 5 spree. He's back on it right now.
See if he can get a similar effort. We'll go to Sky's POV now. Can he light it up? Nope, he gets lit up. Envoy takes his head clean off, but Awakening, the difference maker, almost with 3. Slack, though, picks up the last one, and Mutineer still in a good spot. Slack is trying to get away as he gets hit by the tack, able to tuck into a corner for a moment. Sky's on the other side of it, hits the shots all the time. The Mutineers thus far. Sky's
so
picking them across the map
hill
as well.
They've been so good on this hill throughout this game. I mean, this is probably their cleanest one so far. It's one of the tougher ones, but it's just their positioning around Plat, around Catwalk. They are giving nothing to OpTic, and, well, they're going to be up to 215 points and close to closing out this map number 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's like 3 perfect kills in a row. Like, yeah, it was a great Mutineers hold, great OpTic hold, great Mutineers hold. Like, it went from real scrappy to not so scrappy as everyone locking it down, but Mutineers have done a better job in that department. They're getting closer and closer to a victory. There's still one up on this side, and that's going to be Neptune. How many can he locate? Because the rest of his team is dropping. He's doing a great job. He's gotten 3. He gets 3 of them and at least gives a moment for the rest of his teammates to try and scurry back towards the next point. And we'll see what it actually gets. I think that 3 was massive. I mean, at least his teammates getting 2 kills.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? And you can get players in the positions they want to be. It got to Awakening top green. He's able to push out bricks. Get slacked an XM4 in a position where he wants to be. So yeah, it just buys them time. But here comes OpTic, 4 dead. You see the spawns. 1 does spawn out front. It looks like they realize that now. The rest spawn out towards the back. So they're going to get the final 10 seconds, but you're going to a hill where it can be very scrappy. If Mutineers can close it out there, or do we go back to that second hill, which is where Mutineers have broken it, what, 2-3 times so far?
Yeah, it's not looking great for OpTic from that standpoint. It's already difficult enough, but if they're going to win it, it's probably going to rely on that second hard point, like you said. But when it gets mixy here in the point, and the chaos, a lot of the times is where OpTic can thrive. And they do it. You just can't allow any time the way of Mutineers. Envoy knows he's got pressure to deal with, tries to slide out. Unfortunately for him, there are 2 there. So for a moment, you don't have a contest, but what? Yeah, it's just a 1-point tick from Mutineers. Nothing major from that department. And yeah, it's just easy. As long as you've got some presence mid and there's a battle going down, it's kind of easy to hold it from one side of it. Awakening does take down 2, but Envoy should be able to hop right back in and contest. They've got, what, 8 points here? They haven't been able to win it. If you're OpTic, you did just enough. But the problem is that number 2 in the minimap. It's going to be Skies that's already located the next. Number 4 and Neptune's rotating on the back. He's going to get picked. They got to take out Skies. They got to take him down. Can Skies be the hero? Oh, God, no. He gets smoked. Formal takes him out. OpTic is in. 40 points needed. They haven't held second a single time. They've got to do it now.
Well, they just did what Florida did, right? I mean, Florida, every single time they've gotten the kills at the back end of the first, it spawns them out. It forces them to try to flood on through the front. OpTic, though, it was so clean. They don't have to worry about anything, but here comes that push through bricks. Dashy trying to watch, but it's Awakening with 2. Just 1 more player on. Scump just trying to wait for the reinforcements right now. A 10-point difference. Scump gets taken down. They can win it here. Neptune with 2. Envoy trying to make the play. Dashy at the front. Now it's all on to him, but Slack's there.
What a break yet again. Mutineers into second get it done. Time and time again, they come up clutch to get into one of the most important hard points on the map. And you'll see the best play there from Awakening as he was going off on the map. A big, big map win for Mutineers, considering, I mean, the shaky hard point they've had, how good OpTic has been in that mode. They clutch up, they hold on, and it got scary though. Once you lost that opening transition to second, you just feel like it might get away from them, but what a break-in it was. Fantastic job there for Mutineers.
Yeah, I mean, they took their time, right? I think some teams in that situation might feel like they have to flood through the front to try to make the play, but they don't. They go back to their bricks play, they go all the way through that tank. They're just able to stay alive, and I think it was Awakening who finds 2 kills. A look at that scoreboard. In the big thing for the Mutineers, what did we talk about? Balance in respawns. You get this exactly. Everybody around in 1, that's what we've been seeing from Dallas, from LADs, for OpTic. You know, our successful respawn teams throughout this, you know, first group stage, Atlanta FaZe as well, and you finally get that. Well, the Garrison Hardpoint has been a solid map for them.
Well, let's now look at the Astro social soundboard. I knew Skies was going to come to play today, though. Got to show out for Scump and Formal. I don't even know what that means.
Well, I think they knew Skies was going to play tough. Skies was going to bring it today, and he's been the difference maker.
But why? Is he trying to impress Scump and Formal to be their pal? Like make a TikTok video? Like join the team?
I don't know, and I have no idea. I'm telling you, it was.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but the map 1 is done. We'll get ready to look to search and destroy coming up next. A huge, massive win there for Mutineers, and the impact it has on the other teams getting a little bit scary. We'll be right back.
Florida Mutineers, brilliant players all round. It's all on a slack. This is it.
Just straight up winning the gunfights.
Now it's looking a bit spicy. Skies on a rampage right now. Run, Florida. This could be huge. Big weight.
Awareness level 99 for Awakening.
And Neptune starting to look a bit nasty. Welcome to the COD League, young man.
Florida just pulled out some magic to make it happen.
And what a show they're putting on for us.
Map 1 is in the books. Mutineers get it done. And now let's take a look at the game fuel keys to victory before the map 2. Joe, talk to me about the Mutineers.
Yeah, convert the, that first blood percentage. They have a 64% first blood ratio. They're 1-3 in search and destroy. That just has to be better. Number 2, you need more out of slack than hardpoint 0.78 so far in this season. We just got a better one for him. And Skies needs to return to MVP form. He has a 0.74 in search and destroy. Not good enough, but in hardpoint. In their hardpoint wins like we just saw, when they win, he has a 1.28. When they lose, he has around a 0.9. Again, a much better effort out of Skies and Slack. Well, really the whole team in that map 1. We'll see if he can bring it in map 2, because that was one of the strong things for them last year.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. But now the keys to victory for OpTic. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I just was afraid maybe they were going to challenge Florida on Garrison Control. They didn't. So that is the only map where Florida has a win, is on Garrison Control. We're playing checkmate. We're good. We need to find more success in S&D from everyone besides Dashy. They're going to continuously try to find more improvement in this mode. We know that's their focus, but I think Dashy is the only one over a 1. And lastly, well, for Chicago, OpTic, you got to lock in. We know that this is, your second seed locked, but still very early on in the year, you want to get more repetitions under your belt.
Yeah, similar to what we said for FaZe yesterday. Like their spot, was locked, but you still want those points when you think about the overall scenario. Like God knows, it could come down to a 10-point difference or something at the end of the season. Who the heck knows with how chaotic this has been this week? But we'll see. Now to search. A lot of people have been keeping their eyes on OpTic and just how the improvements are going to come through. You saw Scump's tweet talking about the fact that they've been getting practice in, but it's not an overnight miracle. They can't just suddenly take some medicine and they're the best search team in the game. It's going to be baby steps, a work in progress, and we'll get another side on that.
A lot of repetitions. The good thing for them, checkmate, they're 1-0. On the opposite side, Mutineers 0-1 on this map. So both teams have at least played it. And what did we see yesterday? On one side, it was Atlanta FaZe that wanted to play very aggressive, all about B. On the opposite side, it was the Legion that were playing all the way back. Very passive. They were retaking sites. So far, a pretty standard start for both teams. Envoy just trying to find a pick, and that's going to be Skies up top of those boxes. Just gets down, but the nade's coming in. Does Dashy connect? No, it just hits that pillar.
No first blood yet. Leading the way in the first bloods. I mean, it's been awakening massively from Mutineers. I mean, he provides almost half of their first bloods in these search and destroys. We'll see if this is a map where you can rely on to do so. Now comes the guessing game. It's like, all right, if they're going to be in the plane, where are they in the plane? Well, Neptune is actually just outside of the plane, lying in wait, ready to pounce like a tiger. His foot, though, I see his foot.
He's a hello.
There's the tiger. Rawr. Know what tigers sound like?
Yeah, something like that.
Do it 2 versus 2. Awakening. It's the shots now to a 1v1. Awakening versus Envoy. 15 seconds to go. Envoy's got to get this bomb planted. Awakening knows it. How is he going to play this?
Envoy's going to...
It's like Envoy just tried
the plant.
to play for the kill. Not going to happen. Can't get the plant. Not enough time. Round win to Mutineers.
Yeah, so he just kind of goes for the 50-50. And what do we mean by that? He's not really playing the bomb plant. He wants to try and catch Envoy, either hopping up, making noise, sliding in, checking the bomb. But Awakening, very patient. Kind of just waits for that bomb to be planted, is playing a strong position with the Krig, finds that final kill. Well, Florida Mutineers up 1-0.
I'm sure it gets to a point in your career and over the course of the year where, I don't know, maybe you get a feeling for how somebody on the other team might play a 1v1, like a Slack versus an Awakening. Or,
absolutely.
It's just so early in the title. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to predict a lot of that stuff, so you're kind of guessing. He plays for the kill, unfortunately doesn't get eyes on. So Round win over to Mutineers. Slack flying forward. Dashy able to get away with his life for just a moment. Then Scump out for the kill. Envoy gets one as well. Big advantage. OpTic early.
Yeah, they were just hoping that Slack was able to find Dashy. That's just a key kill that doesn't come through. Slack, though, going to be the last man alive in a 1 versus 4. Finds the first. You can expect that. No, you are not. It was a lot of early aggression from the Mutineers under that plane wing, and they're just trying to catch the player who's on this wood steps. But that is Dashy. He's able to back on up. That's when you see Scump and Formal sort of rotate. And the Mutineers know, all right, we got to back you up. Like, this is not a good position for us to be in if we don't get that kill. And, well, that cost them.
3-0 start for Envoy. See how high he can push this streak, and he's just moving forward to a similar spot we saw him in the first offensive round. Now Slack just tucked away in a corner. We saw what Scraps make some crazy plays from this position. It's just a guessing game at times. Where are they going to be? Is Scump probably going to hit the slide cancel around the edge? No, he's actually going to get wall banged and then catch an aid to his toe. So never mind.
And that might just be all of Slack's position, because when you slide, you're going to hear that audio cue. So he might tell them, hey, wall bang it. They're there. Then the nades come in. Nice communication out of Mutineers. Another clean round. Another player left in a 1v4 this time. It's Envoy. Doesn't finish the kill on Neptune. The little slide comes in. It is all defense so far.
Neptune goes massive. What is that? 3 in the round. What, the wall bang and then aid to get the first blood. Another inside. And a little slide and finesse here to get the final kill. And, oh, you can see how different it looks like kind of from his POV. Like, that looks so nutty to deal with. From the OpTic POV, just clean and quick for Neptune.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to aim at the waist, right? So you can just deal with that as much as you can.
Yeah, you see that. Well, we kind of pointed it out in one of our previous series. A lot of times you'll see people holding corners, and they're not holding them at head level or chest level. They're holding it a little bit lower, and that's because of that. Like the slide, the movement you can hit on people. It's not the same Call of Duty we were playing 7 years ago.
You saw Neptune trying to find an opening. That reminds me a lot of what we saw from Classic yesterday. Just trying to find anything that he could. Clayster as well. He's done it a few times in NYSL. Sometimes there's just so many angles on this map, and if you can catch the timing, that can turn into a first blood, but it doesn't. The opposite for the Mutineers. So now they're a man down. Probably thinking, well, we at least have to try and get this bomb down. Maybe we can make something work. Now it's try to find a pick. At least make this a 3v3, and Skies with that angle is able to do it.
Yeah, so many angles to deal with on this map, but a nice bounce back there from OpTic. This Formal gets the kill. You still have to get this plant. Scump, does he peek it? Does he peek it? He's just looking for the push through. Now maybe get some information, but can't get the kill. Sky's able to get the plant and get away. That is huge for Mutineers if they're not going to clutch in this 2 versus 3. Formal, though, makes it a little bit easier. Awakening now going to be last alive with 30 seconds on the clock. Formal will get traded out. They know his position now. Are they going to hop it, or are they going to fly at him? One push through behind.
Look at, how is he? He's finessed
One
this.
chasing him. I don't know what timing is going on here, but it works out. Scump wrapped all the way around. He's able to get the shots in from behind, and they'll get the victory. Yeah, it's like, what do? Do you leave one person to hold and stick it? Do you hump the kill? They go for the hunt, and thankfully Scump's got the angle.
Yeah, there was just enough time where they go for the hunt. There was like 35 seconds left. Skies goes down so early during the bomb plant. It puts Awakening in a tough spot. And I talked about it. He sort of stretched the bomb. What do I mean from that? He puts it into a position where normally when you plant that bomb, it's behind it. It's in a safe position so you don't die. But he plants it sort of a little bit further left. I think that gives Awakening an angle to see the defuse from sort of that crate hop up, but because he's left alone in the 1 versus 3, he can't play for that. Had to try to make the play and almost does it.
Almost. All tied up now 2-2. Formal spot Skies deep, but not able to hit the shots. You've got a 2-on-2 inside of the play now as Neptune's done so well in here. Slack, it's his turn to get that first kill. He's able to do it, stays alive. The Chow comes out. And the timing there maybe off a little bit from Mutineers. Dashy able to win it. Slack's got a nade on his forehead. He'll end up dropping as well. Awakening now Can he go huge? Some tags in on Dashy. Won't quite drop him, but it's 2v2. Tons of time on the clock. Bomb going to be in Scump's hand. And now what do you want to do with it? You try and isolate a player because Sky's... Oh, he's coming up behind. Does Sky's read this?
He kind of has to know now. Maybe Awakening spotted him or something, but nope, not ready for it. Scump takes the long route. The Awakening is already rotated to this position. They may not be ready for it. They think he's on the other side of the plane. If he takes down Scump, that's going to be bomb. But Scump trying to rotate up the plane stairs, he's going to get in. But now it's a question of can he catch him on the timing? Can he get him on the plant? He does just that. Dashy's there, and Dashy trades it.
Oh, massive trade, because we have seen a lot of 1v2s, 1v3, 1v4, 1v everything this week, but not this time. He needed another bullet or two to take down Dashy. He makes the play, and that got a little wild because when Sky's repositioned, I thought he knew. I thought he figured out that maybe he pushed through, but then Scump's still able to catch him, and Awakening in a tough spot again.
Well, that's just one of those rounds, right? You have first blood, and I think Neptune just overextends himself a little bit. You have the man advantage. They throw another round away where they have that first blood.
Yeah, because it was he slacked back down. He peeked to get a kill, wasn't able to, but got somebody weak. But then Slack was reloading or getting his health back, and he can't then re-peek to get the trade. It was just a little bit awkward. But they get another first blood. And they turn this one into a round victory. Already got the plant down. Awakening might get caught. Well, nope, that's actually just going to be an elbow swiftly to Formal's forehead. Everybody dropping except for Scump. 1v3, 20 seconds to go. He's going to have to do something insane. And again, it gets down to that 1v2, gets a kill, but the trade is there. Both teams managing to handle things when they have numbers.
Yeah, much better there from the Mutineers. They hit that first blood. I'm not sure where Sky's found it, but that just opens things up. Well, that was it right there. So bottom of the plane. Bit of an off angle.
Yeah, he said that. I'm like, I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, and then they just go for a very fast B plant. There hasn't been a ton of presence around the bomb for OpTic. Kind of we're on the opposite side. You've had Slack there now 2 rounds in a row. So they just sort of go for it. They get the bomb down, and well, with the man advantage, yeah, they trade effectively. This is just their setup.
Hello. He's got a buddy. Black and Neptune just making some lasagna as they watch over the bomb site. And Scump, while you see the other 3 arrows, I don't know. I don't know. You're Italian, right? You made me think of Italian food. I've got no idea, Joe.
You feel like watching a movie on the plane? No? All right. They're making lasagna on the plane. No problem. They blow up that trophy, and look at the nades that Røkkr coming in, but Slack just gets it down. But I think one was able to pop. Envoy able to find Awakening, but Neptune is there. It's his second of the round. Now in a 2v2.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time it feels like a multi-kill comes in from Neptune. Inside of the plane, now it's going to be 3. Can Neptune get the ace, or can Formal clutch the 1 versus 2? Bomb down right on the B site. He gets a little information, but well, gets some bullets in return. If he can do it. He's going to get caught, and that's an ace. In the cards for Neptune. Just finessing inside, making the plays, getting the kills. All 4 drop in Neptune's POV once again.
And just spots Dashy's shoulder, then hits the wall bang. But you saw this sort of play there, right? For OpTic, it was blow up the trophy, Slash been playing on the bomb. They do that, but that was actually Neptune's trophy. Usually Neptune's playing back to the plane, and he can kind of, help him when he needs it, but he plays a different position that round, doubles up on the bomb. So Slash just able to get that trophy down. If there's only one there, he's toast. So he gets the second one down, and Neptune switched up his position, finds the ace.
I know this can apply to this map in various spots and any map, but dude, the plane just seems like a nightmare. It's just a guessing game of where are they going to be this time? Which corner, what angle?
That's exactly
and it does not look fun sometimes for players to deal with that.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like the same thing with Garrett. Is he up the tank, below the tank, underground? Yeah, there's a lot to clear.
Speaking of clearing, you're kind of watching Skies now as He's just checking all the usual spots, see if he maybe can get eyes on one. So far, not able to spot anything, so he's inching his way forward, but Awakening over the top, able to get another first blood. He's been so good this year in that regard. Awakening, a second. Dashy, though, trying to answer back, turns it into a 2 versus 2. That's a massive gunfight win, but now it's a 1 versus 1. 25 seconds to go, slacked. First Scump. Slack running in circles. Scump hitting the shots. Scump wins the one-on-one, brings us to 4-4.
Another first blood that turns into a round loss for Mutineers. What's the difference there? It's Dashy's 2-piece. Awakening goes for the trade immediately. There has to be some better communication there from the Florida Mutineers to play your numbers. Something is going wrong time and time again. I don't know if they have to slow down, just group up, but that's 2 rounds. Just this one, again, they have a 64% first blood ratio, but they are 1-3 in search. They have to convert those rounds.
Especially when they're clean like that. Like, get a first blood, you have a 4v3, there's no trade, you're in a good spot, and things crumble. But it gives OpTic a chance. They look to even up the series at 1-1. Neptune's gotten pretty aggressive on that top side of the map, pushed through by A, so that's, I believe, going to be Envoy that kind of has to back it the whole way up. And then once again, you have this situation inside a plane where Slack is tucked away, and they're actually pushing this forward. Look where Scump has gotten to, and well, they guess right this time. Slack's going to get caught in the corner, and then he chows the fight. Awakening, though, up to the task. Envoy does locate Neptune, though, at the same time, as Awakening tries to get out of harm's way with the nade. Numbers now still to OpTic. Now even massively to OpTic. Skies, 1 versus 3. Can he get a pick? Can he stop the plant? Neither are going to happen. OpTic take the round. They go back-to-back, 1 round away now from evening up the series.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for the Mutineers side because they switch things up. So you see Slack in that position again. Formal's able to spot it. But they don't. OpTic doesn't know if Neptune's with him again or towards the back of the plane. Neptune was actually all the way pushed up towards A side. Like, he was trying to find the opening, in basically just try to switch their setup up. Maybe call that, hey, maybe they'll hit at A because B hasn't been working for them. And then Formal's just like, well, I found an opening. Thank you.
Well, I think Neptune got aggressive and it had to back up Envoy. Envoy probably realizes it's Neptune and says, dude, there's one on the plane. Yeah. And that's why Formal more than likely goes up and gets that kill. But Envoy, he's got 3 in a row now. But to get to around 11, Mutineers have got to take this offense. And in the plane, it's been all Neptune. He's been playing out of this world.
I like that one, Clint. That was a good one.
I try. It was better than the Tiger thing.
Yeah. Much.
First blood again for Awakening.
Much better.
Did he get the round win?
Oh, it looks
4 versus 3. Oh no, not again.
Maybe again. 2v2 now. They do spot Dashy, and Awakening just kind of shoots some shots, but that gives up his position. Dashy knows that he's probably going to get pushed towards the front. Awakening this time, though, finds the better angle. Now it's all on a Scump, and look at this read. The 1v2, the first blood. It turns into a round win, and we're headed to a round 11.
Awakening was like, not again. I got the first blood. I'm not letting this one slip away. The first blood in the final 2 here. Hitting his shots. It's clean from Awakening. As it takes a nutty effort there, and that's another ace. So what you, he got the second too, that's right. So you have a, ace from Neptune, now an ace from Awakening. It's taken some insane individual performances to get these round wins. Awakening has had so many double-digit searches. He's at 14-7. 4 in a row. Can he find another first blood? It's round 11 time.
Oh.
It's Scump with the nade. It's Neptune with the nade. 1 drops from either team. 3 versus 3. Minute to go. His Formal rallies towards the plane.
And on the other side, I thought Envoy was going to be able to find Skies. And yeah, they just go for that very fast plan. It worked a couple of rounds ago on offense. The first bloods, they're traded. Now it's a 2 versus 3. Envoy on the flank. He's going to come on up. Hello. All down to a 1v3. Awakening has put the team on the back again. And they get taken down. 14 for Awakening, but it is not enough.
My God.
Scump with 11 kills.
Oh my God.
The fast plan strategy Didn't work out that time.
All right, Tyler, our stats guy, if you were here, I need to know, I have to know how many searches now that is where Awakening has dropped double digits they've lost. I think it's the 4th. Like, I don't know what's going on with their search and destroy, but and I don't know the exact breakdown of the first Bloods. Let me see if he actually give me DM. Usually he sends it over the course of it. I have it through round 9, but not total. He'll probably send it to us shortly. But Awakening, just a hell of a map, but I can think of what a 15, a 13, a 14 kill performance in which he's around double positive, if not better, with half the team's first Bloods, and they lose them. And they've lost it around 11 a couple times, around 10. It's got to be so frustrating because it must feel like you're just so close to winning search and destroys a lot more often than you are.
No, I mean they're playing teams tight. They're right there, but there's just these rounds. I mean, there's 2 off the top of my head where they have a clean first blood and they don't win them. Here's a look at the stats for a second.
We teased you.
Not sure what's happening.
You have to have a really super fast brain to see stats that quickly.
Okay,
we'll have them for you in a second. All right, here we go. So here's the stats. So how many first bloods did he end up with? Okay, so he had 2. It wasn't as wild as some of the games he's had with them. 2 first bloods, though, in 14 and 8. But from an overall first blood standpoint, they had it 6-5, so it was pretty close. It wasn't quite as wild as the ratio you were talking about, but they still had the advantage there. But a little bit different than some of the maps where we were really worried about them when they'd have 8 out of 10 first bloods and lose. That's when it looks a little bit worse. But still, a monster effort from Awakening, just not enough. You had an ace from Neptune, an ace from Awakening. But when it boiled down to it, when it got to the nitty gritty, when it got to that final round 11. Opted to close it out.
Yeah, it's Envoy, Scump, both with double digits. That submachine gun duo. I know it felt like Neptune was really running things in there for a couple of rounds, but they really turned it around. And again, we touched on Skies. I think you look at Florida Mutineers last year, they had 2 players in top 5 in S&D. One was Awakening, one was Skies. And another pretty not great map from him in Search and Destroy. You have to see him improve, and it's obviously tough when Awakening has 14 of those kills, but you think if he plays a little bit better, maybe things go their way.
Let's take a look at our U.S. Army tactical play now, and it's going to be Dashy. And we talked about Dashy because he had somewhere around like a 1-4 in search, and the rest of the team was, I don't know, hovering like a 0.7 to 0.8, like not really able to find a rhythm, and that was why it was kind of one of the keys for us was a little bit more balanced. However you figure that out as a squad, no, they do here, even though it goes the distance, and there's some frightening moments, but we'll look at our U.S. Army tactical play and see what Dashy was able to do.
Yeah, it's just this play where they were able to trade. There's 10 seconds left. Basically, Awakening knows they have to plant a bomb. He's following them up. He spots them as well. And he actually challenges the gunfight. There is a chance maybe where he can slide away, but Dashy being right there. How many 1v2s have we seen that teams have blown so far? A ton that I can think of. So, Dashy able to win that 1v1, that's big, gives them the round advantage in the map.
Yeah, you'd love to give the play to one of the people that got an ace, but unfortunately they lost, giving an MVP to the losing team, which doesn't usually happen in major sports, or not all that often, but that's going to do it for the map too. OpTic able to get a search victory as they continue to try and improve in that mode. It'll tie us up at 1-1. As you watch Dashy dance, we'll head into a break.
Try, you can't stop it. OC dub, way up, like a rocket. Acting up, acting that way out of pocket. For the grind, for the hustle, I can't knock it. Do what it take, do what you do, you can try. Yeah. I've been up, I've been stuck up in the sky. Yeah. Only at the top, I can't lie. Haters watch it, throw the piece, tell them bye, 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 bye. I got things to do, I got bands to get. Competition up in smoke, ooh, cannabis. Ask me why I'm a top 10 candidate. I'm so fly, I'm so clean, ooh, and I'm rich. They can't stop it, they can't stop the kid. They can't stop it, they can't stop the kid. Check the scoreboard, I'm running up stats. Numbers don't lie, that's facts. They can't stop it, they can't stop the kid. They can't stop it, they can't stop the kid. Check the numbers, I'm running it up. I got penny bands, I'm thumbing it, yeah. Tell them move. Get up out the way. It's ludicrous, yeah, how much I'm getting paid. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10K. No mob ties for the player being made. Now how you spoke to your girl, better check her phone. And do you know what take a trip to the mall. Put the shelf in the bag, yeah, cause I'm copping it all. I'm saying, they can't stop it. They can't stop the kids.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by USAA Insurance. We offer insurance that's made for the military community to help them easily protect what they've worked hard for.
We're going to take a look at our Astro social soundboard coming out of it. And, you know, Scraps gutted from the loss last night and getting support there from his mom, which I at the time did not realize was the case, as she is not a big fan of mine, as I was gassing Simp with all those crazy plays. And I've been doing this a long time. I don't usually respond to tweets like this, but I'm surprised because internally I was pulling for Legion. I wanted to see the upset. Upsets are a blast. I thought they were going to get it done, but yeah, I replied like an idiot, and it was his mom, and now out battling with Scraps' mom, and I was getting a bunch of tweets. It was great to see, though. You know, a mom looking out for her kid, wants to see him get the W. I'm sure it was tough for her to see as well, but all love between Scraps and I. That guy's the man. He's a beast, and Legion looking better and better. But yeah, that was some of the fun I was having right after our cast show.
Yeah, you're really going to start arguing with people's parents, huh, Uncle? That's what...
I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It was the picture in the ad.
Like, come on.
I didn't read the top part someone added me on. I didn't know it was his mom. I wasn't trying to fight with parents, man. They love their kids. They just want them to win.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Come on, Maven.
My parents still don't even understand what I do, so.
Yeah, but like, you can't argue with someone's mom on Twitter.
I didn't realize. I'm an idiot, okay?
All right, understand. No? Sometimes it gets to you, and you're like, I'm not doing this today.
Yeah, I'm not the brightest bulb, but I do believe we had a bit of a lobby issue. They're going to have to get back into this one. We're trying to get stuff situated, get into the control as quickly as we can. Things tied up 1-1 right now between Mutineers and OpTic. We're going to head to a fast break. We'll get back as quick as we can. Usually it takes a minute or two. Don't go anywhere. We are back. They got back in the lobby. Joe getting ready to roll on in this series.
You stayed off Twitter, right? Weren't arguing with anyone's parents? Or that?
No, Joe, I didn't. during our 2 minutes fight with any more parents, but this isn't a first for me. I mean, I can remember, I think at one time, Silly's entire family tree was coming at me. Like, I had aunts, uncles, cousins, parents, girlfriends, everyone was tweeting me one time when I was going at Silly a little bit. So nothing new. Been doing this a long time. I'm sorry your team doesn't always win.
Well, at least you apologize, and that's good. You know, we'll just have to get you like a manager or something. Stop you tweeting.
Probably should. I probably should. There's just not be allowed on there when I'm feeling feisty. But I think we'll be ready to go in just a second. Just taking a look at the lobby. I think we've got most people in. Just a reminder on how the maps and modes are going to break down. Lots of Garrison, lots of Checkmate is how this is going to play out. So you mentioned that you thought it was a good thing we were going to Checkmate Control, at least for the OpTic side. And why was that again?
Well, I mean, the only map that Florida has won on Control has been Garrison. So it's the only map they've seen victories on. So I just thought it was one of those things where Chicago, play to your strengths, play raid, play checkmate, don't challenge them on it. And that's what they did. Now we'll see what happens.
Well, it's all smiles is formal, I don't know. That's something funny. He's got them all chuckling right now as they get ready, feeling good after the round 11 victory. I saw a tweet the other day. I think it was Nameless or somebody where like he made a comment like Formal's like funny now. Like I feel like people maybe just didn't know him. Like he's hysterical. Like I've known him back since what, like Halo 3?
Yeah, just maybe? Like quiet. I mean,
the guy's comedy, but I think his personality.
Yeah,
it's just been more between like YouTube and various things, maybe a little bit more on display. But no, he is a troll. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, he wasn't involved in a ton of content or what. I mean, I can remember, well, in sort of the league thing, some of the times we just weren't even sure if Formal was at the tournament. So, yeah, happy to see him doing all the content, bringing a bunch of funny moments. Because most of the time it was like, where's Matt at? Don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just witnessed live the lobby crash again. So we're going to hang out for a second before they get ready to get back in. Apologies for the delay. We want to get going. This has happened in a couple of the series, and so we want to make sure everything's set and everyone gets into the map because that's kind of important. But before we get there, we're going to take a look at an Astro comms check. Let's check it out.
Are you guys all ready to play?
Yeah, I'm
good to go.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, boys, we're back, man. It's actually when times went quick, you know what I mean?
It's game day, yo.
It's game day, man.
Smart plays, dude. Get the gunny strap, bro. Come out hot and just gun these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Last time we were in a tournament was 5.5 months ago.
That's a long time.
Now here we are, back in the 6, in lockdown.
You guys are all wearing your white jerseys, right? Sir. Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir, ma'am.
What'd you say?
Oh. Okay, Reese, you just have to like grab the back of the chair and lift it all the way up until the lumbar is as high as it can be, and then it'll fall.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Let's go. Back where I like it. Holy so much better.
Then move your mic away from that a little bit. You're a little loud for me.
Okay, check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Can you do the same? Can you do the same? Switch your mic a little bit.
Hello? Yeah.
Is that better? Are you on it?
Con, you're good.
Further away.
Okay.
Oh, no, I thought you were good too.
Alright.
45 seconds.
45 seconds.
44. 43. 42.
44. 22. Imagine that, just our comms. We don't actually come, we're just sitting there, just singing and having a good time. Just enjoying ourselves.
Probably what my face do.
¿Dónde está el biblioteca?
Yo, man, you know if we got Zippos?
Here, if you actually need some, like, just hold on to these for a little bit. Yeah. But like, I'm gonna need them back. Like, that's not how it works.
If I get a Zippo, like, we're valid.
Been bamboozled. Run amok. Led astray. It's been like 5 minutes since y'all said 1 minute.
I'm really itching, I'm not playing.
Give me the match, man. Give me the match.
I dropped 8. These are our keys to victory. We need to rotate, communicate effectively, and have decisivity.
Yeah.
Oh, the game is starting.
Alright, guys. Let's go, boys. Hey.
Go, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on.
That was the Astro comms check. Just some of the chatter between the squads before maps, after maps, during maps. They have some fun. I think, you know, I've followed a lot of esports in my day. I think my first MLG tournament was in 2004. So I've been in esports for quite some time, whether it was StarCraft back in the day, CS, like various titles, and I think compared to every other esport I've followed, like our players, we've got like the best personalities by a mile in my eyes, and it's just, I don't know, we've got a lot of characters in this league, and it's fun to see that portrayed.
Yeah, I mean, especially sort of like an idea of what are these guys doing and talking about when we're just kind of waiting for lobbies to get going? And yeah, sometimes before the matches, you get some people pumped up. There's some funny moments in the game. But absolutely, yeah, these guys are a bunch of comedians.
Yeah, we'll see if it has any impact. I mean, yesterday it was funny just because we watched Simp have his worst map ever. At one point he was 2-12 in the control. He was just not playing well, couldn't find a rhythm at all. You know, you have the 10-minute break because of a lobby issue like this, and map 4, what was it, 30-12 or something in that ballpark. He just, whatever it was, reset, hit another gear. I don't know if that's gonna happen again, but we'll see if maybe somebody comes out of this, eat it up. But it looks like the OpTic boys, for the most part, were having fun, having some laughs. Looking forward to the map 3, a little more dialed in, locked in on the other side of it for the Mutineers. But we'll stay on Checkmate. Control overall just hasn't been great for Mutineers. Well, I mean, not any mode really has. They haven't found a solid one. Let's see if they've improved here at all.
I think just before we get into it, we got sent. The Florida are 1-3 when Awakening drops 10+ in search. That's pretty ridiculous. But also, in their wins, he has a 2.2. In their losses, he has a 1.6 in search and destroy. So, yeah. I mean, he's absolutely fine. But as a team, something's got to start clicking.
Well, it's kind of the same on OpTic's side in the sense of I think Dashy has a 1-4 win or lose, and then everyone else is just not been great. So made both teams some similar problems to fix, but we'll focus on the control now. Is Skies trying to hold this line of sight? Is the pressure from OpTic there on the point? Takes some damage, but only 30 HP. Tries to snap. A nice movement there from Formal to take him down. They'll be able to stack this A side a bit. They've got presence in playing at B. There is one player from Mutineers behind enemy lines. It's Slack that's probably going to have to make a play.
I'm just curious to see sort of the improvements on both sides. We don't see a lot of checkmate control. Usually a lot of raid, a lot of garrison. OpTic, one of the only teams who's really played at 1-0. So just see sort of what their game plan is. Maybe some other teams watching, seeing what they do. But a nice start. They're able to get that A zone. They have a life advantage, just a couple of lives. Now the tough part is it's this B zone that can just be so difficult for offensive teams. Because it's below this plane, right? It's below the wing. There's a lot of angles. It is just tough to cover them, your teammates, when they're on the objective.
If you're OpTic here, you just have to try and not push too staggered. You're going to lose some lives here. It's tough to push the point, as you said. But you're really looking for that 3-down scenario. Chain together a couple of kills. Be able to stack and get in towards the objective. They've at least got a presence now mid-map. It's Skies, though. It has an angle. You see him up top. He's going to catch some of the reinforcements coming in as well. Well, I thought he was going to catch him. He doesn't. Envoy actually takes him down, but Skies did get a pick mid-map before he fell.
You have one player
nice shot by Envoy.
One just trying to pause the clock a little bit, and Envoy sort of playing on that outer side. He knows that people are going to flank the wing when you have a player on it, so he was just trying to catch them, was able to do so. Scump's turn to get on it, stops the clock. But with Envoy going down, he has to worry about this side of the map, and it'll be Neptune and Skies who find 2.
Yeah, and you kind of said exactly this in a way, but it's most of the control points, even the hard point to get, it's getting control of it is the difficult part. But once you do, you usually have 1, maybe 2 lanes you really just have to focus on once you get that 3 down. Here, once you get onto the point, it still feels like it's a 6-lane map. Just because all the spots they can shoot you from and peek you from, it's nutty. But Dashy, some nice tracking there to at least get 1, but it's Neptune on 5 in a row. 30 seconds remaining. They've continued to hold this streak. I thought might continue, but fluid movement there from Scump.
And what's really the difference maker is that defensive side. So we'll see. This isn't the most dominant side for Florida. OpTic, they might slow things down right now, try to play some kills, because it's about that round number 5 if we end up getting to it. But with 2 dead, Envoy maybe trying to get on that point. There's still some pressure. Scump there, Dashy there as well. Want to try and find Skies, but they're not able to locate him. He's actually able to take down Dashy. Scump gets taken down. Mutineers with a defensive round win, but not very clean. So for OpTic, if you can just get them maybe off of A, maybe make this a very fast round where you have a 10-kill advantage, that's what you're trying to do.
By not very clean, you're saying they didn't blow them out in the lives.
Exactly. Yep.
We'll try to keep track of that as we get deeper into this game, but Yeah, you can see why it can be defensive heavy, and we say that about a lot of the maps, but God, we've seen so many offensive crazy clutches lately, whether it's been Raid, whether it's been Garrison, like these wild moments. It can happen here too, but it just seems so difficult. You get that point. Now, what do Mutineers want to do off the break? Because the break is massive as well. Get early control, get early time. The faster you get that first point, the more time you've got to work with per second. Awakening, trying to make play around the flag. Just able to win the gunfight and find the timing as the chaos ensues inside the plane as well. Skies gets 2 as well. There's one remaining player for OpTic. That's Envoy, kind of floating between plane and the A site.
Awakening is all the way in the back tower. He was in a position to find 3 members off a spawn, but Envoy stayed alive. He takes down 2. All of map control gone. So Formal wins a big one-on-one, and then Envoy plays his life beautifully. Finds 2 more, and all that map control now just gone. And this is one of those opportunities where OpTic can just trap them in their back third.
Yeah, this has got to be such a frustrating moment for Mutineers. You were in such a good spot. You did the hard part and then just got smoked out of your spots. They've got a rebound. Let's go to an Astro listen in with Mutineers.
Back left, no man.
Yo, plane,
Double plane,
nice,
back left, no man.
Missing Scump still.
Stay alive. We try to get A,
Gotta get a point. Scump was A, so I don't know where he went. He's back there, spawn. That's him.
Waiting.
Where do you go? Low plane. You gotta work a point, guys.
What's your front 2 on me?
You guys have to
Set this 2. Set this front 2.
One's back tower. Can we get a point? Can you go meet up?
No, I can't. No, I can't.
You gotta get a point, bro.
You have stop on it.
He's under 8. I'm dead.
I need a lobby.
The one thing that stood out to me a little bit there as OpTic closed it out is I almost feel in that spot when you have 30 seconds left, there needs to be like a clear command or what we're going to do. And I heard a couple times like, we need to get a point.
And nobody's hitting,
But like, it needs to be more like, let's hit A now or something. I know you need to focus on getting the kills first, but I don't know if indecisiveness is the right word. Just not like a clear, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, just all on the same page. I mean, the comms could be one of the reasons why their search game is kind of struggling. You know, you're saying things, but you're not really doing them. And I don't know, maybe it's just someone, they need more of a commanding voice, whatever that may be. Could just be the offensive round. I mean, Scump did a great job in their spawn, just really staggering their push. They just couldn't get anything going, and that's what I mean. That's what you're looking for OpTic, is that dominating defensive round that we just saw.
Yep, absolutely. So, as you previously mentioned, doing so well in the lives department in the first round could help guarantee them defense on 5th. If we even get to that, we'll see. An offensive win here would flip everything on its head, and they're going to get A very quickly, or they should, because they've got 2 now on it. The one player at mid-map is going to be Scump, who's trying to maybe make the transition across a little bit easier, but he will drop. The point will finish. Now you've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. About as high as you're ever going to see with regards to the time to work the next point. You're up 3 lives. The last time you were in a similar spot, you weren't able to get it done. Can they find more success, or can Mutineers hold on?
Well, they just had a 4 versus 2 at the A point, and these 2 players, Formal and Envoy, are still alive. Right? They were able to find 3 players. That gives OpTic map control. You already have Scump inside the plane, Dashy up top as well. Now they're up 6 lives. Awakening with the 2-piece. Maybe it'll slow things down. That was just weird. It's like they all gave up A. They found 2 kills, but then like no one wanted to go get those players off the point. It should have been their focus to just make sure all of OpTic is in their spawn, but that didn't happen. They lost all the gunfights.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, Awakening doesn't get those 2.
Yeah,
like if he loses that first gunfight, it might be ball game. I mean, they at least get a good bit of progress, right? And someone's pushing forward to get some spawn kills, but he goes big. But that was a great stretch and sequence from OpTic to find themselves in a good position. And lives department still up 3. They've kind of enjoyed that over the course of the last couple of minutes, but half the time has gone by. No progress on B yet. All of Mutineers back in the mix. The next big break opportunity here for OpTic.
Yeah, we'll see if Envoy can make the play, find the opening. You know he does this so well. On the opposite side, it's Neptune and Slacked inside the plane. Slacked finds 2, they trade. So Envoy's going on a very far flank. It looks like he's spotted though by Awakening. You see Neptune comes up off spawn. He's going to try and help his teammate. All of the blue arrows are looking towards Envoy. Just look at what he does to the map. They find him. Now they have to turn around. Does that give OpTic some space to work with? The answer, no, it does not. Slacked and Neptune again inside the plane.
Yeah, I thought just his presence alone might be enough to give position to OpTic, but Slack and Neptune, it is their plane. Holding it down for the squad. 14 seconds to go. Envoy trying to be a miracle worker again. Not going to happen. Who's in the kill feed? Slack and Neptune again. Again, they hold it down for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And another prime example of just on this map, that point, how difficult it is to get.
I mean, it's an Envoy find anything on the flank doesn't happen. But what was it was the transition right from A to B, where OpTic found the opening, but it was Awakening's 2 kills, one on the point, and then he hops on up, able to find the second with that XM4. If that doesn't happen, there's a lot more opportunity for OpTic.
Yeah, and that almost broke down exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, usually that one break or one good play is enough to win an offense. Not always, but usually one moment, like, that gets it done. Or at least gets, like, 2 ticks done, and then you just need a brief moment, but, like, it's like you need 3 here.
We'll see if Florida can get anything going. Now, for OpTic, you want another clean defense. You've had pretty scrappy offensive rounds. You kept the kills close. They make this one-sided to round up defense in round number 5. Florida, you're just trying to avoid that. Nice nade by Envoy. They hit the stick. He's on a 3. He's at 3 in a row. And now with all of this map control, this is where it gets tough for Florida.
See if they can get out of this. They've gotten a couple of kills, but at the same time, so has OpTic. So no progress really out of their spawn yet. Every time they get one, a player drops. Like, it's just staggered, and it's Envoy that keeps doing it. He was able to get 2. Neptune and Slack, though, they combined to get a couple. There's 3 down. Now you've got a chance. All of OpTic going to be coming off a spawn. You've got to get forward. This is where you can at least get 1 point and extend the time, but unfortunately, you haven't done the easy part yet. The hard part's still to come.
I think OpTic are probably going to go for this. I know there's only 40 seconds left in the round. Fighting for plane control right now, and then maybe off of that, they'll fly out of the wing. Guys is playing his life really well. He's able to find a kill. They're trying to find Awakening. They're able to do that now with 3 dead. It's all on Neptune. Having a great map so far. Wins another 1 versus 1, but sorry, buddy, you are all by yourself. Finally taken down. Now it's just down to the clock. And I just don't know if they have time to do anything. Oh, look at that.
Oh, they got enough time for one play. One play, and then, well, you're not going to have much time to work B at all. Unless they decide to just go for B, which they're going to get a bit of progress here. They're going to stop the clock, but they need to get the picks to try and head over towards A. The problem is Scump is there. Scump is able to knock down 2. 1 still up for Mutineers, though, and it's an Awakening. So Awakening will get towards the opposite point. His 2 teammates coming off the spawn are going to get there. Awakening hits the shots yet again. That should be the point here in a moment. There it is. Secured through. They get a minute, but we saw a 2-minute and 10-second hold. You've only got a minute to work with this time around.
Yeah, you only have 8 lives, actually. So it's 2 pushes. And they lost all map control. There's no transition. Dashy and Formal are in their spots with their ARs. They take down 2. I like this. They back on up. You don't want to give any kills up. Round 5 so important for both of these teams. Looks like Envoy's trying to play a little sneaky, and he found the timing. Skies was watching it for a bit. No respawns remaining. It is all OpTic in the kill feed. Envoy with another one. Formal on a 5 spree. I think with that 8 life advantage in this round, they should be good for defense in round 5.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to come back to what you said about the round 1. Yep. So the round 1 and that, but that offensive round where they really kept it tight is where the biggest difference. We'll see teams come out with a life advantage defensively quite often here, but well, that was a pretty big one though too, right?
And it's almost like that time extension, that minute, I almost feel like that hurts Florida in a way because the lives were pretty darn close. In the minute after they capped it, it was 10 kills in a row for OpTic, which that just makes it even more one-sided. I didn't see the scoreboard and I wasn't counting, but it's almost like getting 8 might have hurt their chances because that gave more time for OpTic to find those kills.
Yeah, you're right. It literally was just like kill after kill after kill for OpTic to extend a lead they might have already had, but they put the icing on top. And now, I mean, Mutineers, you're going to have to do what no one's done so far on this particular map is win an offensive round. We'll see if they can do it. Awakening, stopping the clock and trying to get onto A and hold it. A little bit of progress done. Sky's hitting some big shots. The push is coming in. Snap from Awakening, and that's going to be everybody dead outside of Formal, who's pushing all the way through on the flank. But yeah, this is a great spot. You should get A with relative ease. Formal's going to make this transition very, very hard.
Yeah, and he might get some streaks as well. Finds the artillery. Has some help from Scump. And there's the transition, right? It's not clean. If Formal is taken down, maybe there's a position where they can go from A to B, but not able to do so. He's going to ping that. Doesn't see anyone. He finds the trophy that gets him closer to that missile.
And they're thinking, let's run back, let's play it safe, let's hit it. And unfortunately, Formal was pre-aimed with an AR. Streaks continue to rain on in. 90 seconds to work with on the clock, but a 5-life advantage enjoyed by OpTic. Streak comes through, doesn't hit. But like, yeah, that's you have that one chance to like really soften up the defense. They didn't find that sequence. And now they're gonna have to look for another opportunity. And I think what stood out is like it's like every time Mutineers get 1 or 2, OpTic answer back, or OpTic, well, they just get all 4. Scump on 5 in a row, all of Mutineers coming off spawn again. Look how far pushed up the map OpTic are.
Yeah, the big thing is they just haven't been able to get out of this. I mean, both times they finally got A. After that, I mean, good luck. It is just, it's all OpTic. I mean, streaks coming in. It was like 22 to 20 lives at some point, I'm pretty sure. Since then, it's 21 to 8.
Oh, yeah, they're getting crushed. Like, Envoy and Scump made the Mutineer spawn their spawn. Like, they were just in there wreaking havoc, and Scump's not done yet. Envoy dropped, but Scump's still involved in the party. He's on 8 in a row. Finally, they're able to pick him. But a minute and a half has gone by, and there is not much you can do. No respawns remaining for the Mutineers. One guy left. It's Awakening. One guy left is Neptune, and we'll see what he can do. He's going to be hiding in a corner. As they go, it's hunting season right now for OpTic, and the prey is Neptune. Neptune is down. OpTic take the map 3 in a game that was defined by who could hold the defense more efficiently.
Yeah, and you know, that's sort of the game plan for OpTic. They believe in their defensive rounds, but also on offense to make it scrappy. But both times they got A, both times it was very close in the life department. They never really got in a setup like this, right? They never got trapped by the Mutineers. They were consistently getting out. Keep that life advantage in their favor. They knew what they had to do going into round 4 to close out round 5. There was a chance there for the Mutineers, but Formal heads up play, plays his life. He knew he was on 6 in a row. He just waited for them to get done with A. Waited for his teammates to spawn up. Nicely done from OpTic Chicago.
Yeah, it's a little odd for me because like I think Checkmate might be one of my least favorite control maps because of how it plays out like that. But at the same time, there's part of me that appreciates the variety of it in the sense of, you know, most of the other maps is kind of what I said. Like, you get that one big 3 or 4 down and you're done. This is more like a war of attrition and efficiency. Like, who can, you know, value their lives better, get a little bit more of an effective offensive push out. Like, it's frustrating to play, I'm sure, but I don't know. I guess I appreciate the difference of it.
I just think that beep, the beep, you just have to be able to capture it. And right now, it's pretty, not really.
Yeah,
not really
it's
possible.
hard.
Right now.
Yeah. No. I think that it's a problem, absolutely. But
yeah, no, it's a different strategy coming into it.
Other maps.
I know what you have to do.
Yeah. I guess that's what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of a different strategy. But that's going to do it for the map 3. OpTic now go up 2-1 after going back-to-back maps. And Mutineers, once again, in trouble. Hardpoint up next. You can customize your Call of Duty in-game experience with CDL League packs and team packs. Gear up with operator skins, stickers, emblems, calling cards, and charms. For more information, go to callofdutyleague.com. But yeah, they're sexy. I like it. We've been using some of them on the guns in Warzone. Like I was using the FAR with I think I had Surge on it first. Dude, it looks so good, especially compared to last year. It's just more vibrant or what it is exactly, but I love them.
Oh yeah, 2 of these. I mean, what, Florida's as well with the, their colorway looks really good.
I tried theirs.
OpTic, that green pops a lot more than what we saw with the
yeah, it pops.
Yeah, it pops a lot more. But here's a look at game 1 as we head back to our hard point. And this is what we talked about, a much more balanced effort from the entire team. Slacked for 1.0, but also 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the hill, doing a lot of the objective work. We're going back to checkmate. We're staying on it. The one time we've seen OpTic on it, Clint, it was a thrashing. He smoked.
Is that Ultra?
Yeah.
Was it the guy?
Yes.
Yeah, but right? Yeah, just got annihilated. Yeah, that was tough to watch. Felt bad for them and their families, anyone supporting them. But Ultra are going through it right now, so we're not going to get further into that. Okay, so map 4. Mutineers, you win the map 1, you get the balanced effort, but yeah, this is a scarier map. Now, if you continue to get the flips when you need them and make those big plays like you did on Garrison, and there are some similarities in spots for sure on checkmate, but yeah, it's going to be hard to do. Let's see if they can get it done. They close out that map 1. What success can they find here in map 4 if we're going to get to a 5th and final map? We're to OpTic. Just end it here. Hold the 2nd spot in their division and look forward to the major.
Now, what did OpTic do so well last time? It was they held most of the time. They do just this. They try to flip spawns for seconds. Scump was trying to get aggressive. Maybe he can spawn 1 or 2 members of Florida behind him. That aggressive play, not able to do so. They're taking their time. There's no need to rush the push yet, right? You're getting a lot of time. There's 30 seconds left. You force Florida in a situation. Okay, well, we have to get them off this, right? And that is when you want to try and take them down and push forward. We're able to get those 30 seconds, but that's going to be 4 down. Good job by the Mutineers.
Yeah, that was beautiful. They got the key kills when they needed them. I know there's still like 10 seconds here, but like that is just massive to make sure OpTic isn't in position for the quick transition and the entries over towards the next hard point.
They go fast. Yeah. Okay, the player's going to hold their kill cam. Neptune's going to spawn safe.
They almost got there, yeah. I thought it was going to end before they even got to like mid-plane, but they nearly did it. But Mutineers, fantastic job. But if you're Chicago, you won't end up in too terrible a spot considering you got the first 30 seconds, but now you win some gunfights from the front. Envoy's going off, catching people off a spawn. They break it in the front. They haven't flipped yet, though. They're still spawning safe if you're Mutineers, so you've got a chance to 4-on-4 hit this and get back into it. But so far, that's not what's happening. Envoy still on a tear. Sky's able to take down 2. Sky's able to take down 3. But the spawn flip happened right before that, so his teammates spawn out. OpTic now spawns safe. It's madness!
Yeah, I mean, it was all Scump and Envoy off that break. They didn't get the spawn flip, but Envoy was able to win the 1v1. Scump dealt with 2. That just gave them a lot of forward pressure, a lot of map control. They knew they had Mutineers basically trapped back there, almost like we just saw on Control. So they're getting a lot of time, and that was beautifully done. They have a 30-second lead. We're going to head now to our third hill. Well, all 4 players go down for the Mutineers. Both teams fighting for that lane control.
And that's, I mean, you think about it, like what? It was the first 30 points of first OpTic, and I think Mutineers walked away with 20 or so points at the end of it. You just got like nothing on second, considering you were set up early. Like, you didn't get much at all. You still have a lot of time in this game to bounce back and make your own big play, but that one's got to be painful because now you look at the map control of OpTic as they continue to find the kills. You're set up in 3rd. You've got position for 4th. By having position for 4th, you kind of have position for 5th as well. You're going to need somebody to go huge for Mutineers, and it's got to be soon.
A lot of time until that 5th hill, but yes, yeah, the Mutineers know they got to retake
control.
What I mean,
though?
Yeah, that momentum, you can swing if you get those spawns, but there we go. So you're going to have 1 player stay alive inside of wood. That's going to be Scump, but the rest of his teammates, they actually spawn behind the Mutineers as we go to our 4th hill. And with Scump alive, with Scump in Dashy's positions, every kill is going to be massive, and Mutineers is going to spawn very far away. Scump, he's able to find 2 more. He's had a couple of big plays already in their breaks. He does it again.
Yeah, that was huge. He was like the lone guy in a position to really make the play. That's exactly what he did. Kind of in a similar spot's going to be Awakening. He's kind of coming up behind enemy lines now. See what he can find. Nothing, unfortunately, as he gets baited shooting at one and then sliding out is Formal. So that didn't go quite as clean as it did for Scump on the other end of it. And that's a big gunfight again for Scump, making sure they can't push through the backside as you start thinking about our 5th hard point. And they'll still be kind of spawning parallel top side of the old point. An OpTic up, what, 60 and still in a good position. I thought maybe there was a moment there where Mutineers had a good chance to change some time, but not going to happen.
Yeah, and it puts you in a tough spot when you sort of spawn top right? Do you want to take a long route, hit the front of the hill? Do you want to try to push on through? That's difficult to do. They all went down around the same time. OpTic continued to punish with their map control. Scump having another big game, or another big play. What, he was just on 4 in a row, up to 14 for him. I feel like it's just him and Envoy right now. This sub-duo just so strong on this map. It's another thing.
And that's what I was saying, that Scump kill from... That's what I was saying, that Scump kill back lane was so big, because like he loses that. Somebody from Mutineers can kind of push that bottom side of the map, make things messy, influence the spawns, but it's a lot cleaner. Scump has, well, like 3 huge moments over the stretch of that. Now up 100. And this is looking like what we saw last time we watched them. Just dominating the map from the get-go.
They have a very good understanding of what... Yeah, I mean, this is the get-go. It's the first rotation. They have a very good understanding of what they want. They have 170 points the first 5 hills. They know exactly how they want to play this map. And I mean... The last 2 times we watched them, I mean, there's still a lot of gameplay left, but almost to perfection.
Well, that's going to be the problem with how strong they've looked in just about everything they've played. Like, this has looked like one of their best, but, I mean, they get to a point where the veto process and respawns is hard when they're, like, kind of good at everything when it comes to respawn. It's difficult to isolate maps. You just have to try and find one where you, I don't know, maybe you've got the best shot, but it doesn't look like that's going to be checkmate for Mutineers. It looks like it might be checkmate on the series as OpTic look to close it out. But if you are Mutineers, you are going to make this run. You've got to contest all of this time, hold spawns for a second, get a full hold, and you're sort of back in the game. But even if you do what I just said to perfection, you're still going to be down a minute.
Let's see if they can do it. There's a good amount of map control. There's going to be a lot of early pressure here from OpTic. OpTic up to 190 points. Formal with some nice shots on the Neptune. Neptune will spawn safe. Kill some 4 versus 4, but Scump in the back now. Awakening may spawn safe back corner. He does. They're going to realize that, but it's Neptune's too. I think will help them out for right now. Formal and Scump just trying to wait for their teammates to come back off spawn.
I'm just trying to turn as many heads as he can. It's a game of ring around the rosy here for Slacked and Scump, and final laugh will be Slacked. Well, on that kill, probably not the series with how this map is looking, but he does find Scump ultimately, and they just get, if they get it, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it's still, I mean, it's a problem. Like I was saying, like, even if it was a good hold or a perfect hold, they're still down so much, but it at least puts you a little bit back into the game.
Hey, the big thing is when you have that good of a sort of a first rotation, on hills 3 and 4, what are you looking for if you're off? Say 15 to 20 points, right? Maybe you're hitting some scrap time. It's just going to be difficult now for the Mutineers because they're, I mean, slaying has to be very high because that will allow you to put you in situations where you can rotate and get hill time. But a lot of things got to go their way. They got to start getting streaky. And yeah, they're just going to get on this time, try to get 5, 10 seconds, get it closer and closer to 250.
Yeah, every second they score so painful for Mutineers. Formal gets 2. Awakening, if someone's going to start to light up the kill feed, maybe it's got to be him. He gets a little bit of help in the form of Slack. Neptune in on the action as well, and they don't allow OpTic to get much at all. They get control of the point. How long can they hold this? And they win some key gunfights as we get ready to head to the top side of the map for 4th.
OpTic even going for that final 13 seconds, and why not? They get 3 kills. Slack, the last player alive. Number 4 does spawn out. That's Neptune. So you're going to kind of have that situation we saw from OpTic where with Scump who was able to make the play, they can set up that pinch. He's going to find 1. He's going to find a second. It's almost deja vu just on the different teams. Dashy will get taken out. So there is the break.
You needed that. If you're Mutineers, you needed that desperately. And you hold on. Neptune going big. As you said, kind of that favorable spawn on the other side, able to make the play on the backside of the OpTic setup. But Scump, Envoy, Dashy, everybody getting kills. Slack going to be the last man up around the point. He snaps, he reads it, he gets the kill. Slack trying to go huge when everybody drops around him. Buys his teammates enough time to get back. And there's not even a contest or really any interruption of time because Slack makes the play.
The big play is, can they find Formal? Because they want to win rotation and next. Formal, he's just trying to play his life. He knows his teammates are sprinting across the map to help him. He takes down, well, almost takes down Neptune. But he took down one. So you see it's a bit of a 2-2 split here for Florida. Now the sort of story changes. Can Neptune hang on and wait for his teammates to reinforce? He's able to find two. But the spawns are there for Chicago. I think there was one player there. As soon as the spawn happens, as soon as that hill pops, it gives them that close generator spawn. Now they're inside the hill.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that yesterday. Which matchup was it where it was on the other side, though, for a second? Where, like, if you don't have somebody in the hard point or playing deep, they'll get that close spawn in the back. And it looks a little weird on the map at times. And yes, is it a blessing? Sure, but you have to have somebody deep. They didn't OpTic get the spawn. And now you have to do something wondrous again if you're Mutineers and you're going to have a shot. Only 10 points now needed for OpTic as they're trying to close this game out. But I feel like we've been saying that for 20 minutes now.
Yeah, this is a much better rotation out of the Mutineers.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the second hill, 4 and 5 so far. They have been much better. But to bring it, well, I mean, it's still around that 70 mark, but in a lot more time. Now back to this first hill. OpTic, though. Envoy, Scump, both inside. Only 5 more points to close out this match.
I mean, think about the difference. You scored 170 on the first rotation for your OpTic. That time, only 70. So much better for Mutineers, but not good enough. OpTic close it out. They win 2, 3, 4 to take the series. And the implications weren't that big, really, for either of these two teams. It's how it affected everybody else. And with that OpTic win, it's what? Guerrillas that are now guaranteed third?
Yep. Guerrillas will start in the winner's bracket.
So the Guerrillas, the biggest fans of OpTic ever, as they get the win. And you get a dub. And I think for OpTic, you feel good about the victory. I think you look back at the map one and you want to clean up some stuff, especially with maybe rotations and fights around that second hard point. As we pointed out, they had some difficult spots there. You win a search, which has been tough for you at times this year. And then the other side, like, where did anything change for you about Mutineers? Because I kind of feel the same as I did going in.
I mean, the big thing to me is map 2. Just those similar mistakes. There was a chance they go up 2-0. They close out some of those rounds where they have man advantage. And even if you lose 3-4 the way they did, you go to a map 5. You know, you get on another search and destroy where Awakening has been playing so well. But here's a look at the stats from map number 4. Formal with 33 kills, over 5,000 damage for him. Pretty balanced effort. Nothing really too crazy besides him with 33. I guess one of the big questions for teams sort of watching this, preparing for the major, talk about vetoes. I mean, the big thing for OpTic, they get rid of Crossroads, right? So now it's that checkmate hardpoint. Do you want to play them on it? Do you want to play them on something else?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're getting eyes on with a lot of gameplay from them right now, especially in the respawns. How are you going to attack that? But we are now going to look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be Envoy. He had some big ones. Scump had some big ones. Formal drop 33. I mean, there were probably a ton of moments you could look at, but let's check out this one from Envoy.
This was just him staying alive at this 4th hill, which at times can be just so difficult to do. As some players watching over him, the pre-fire right here while being weak. It's just what Envoy does best. He just continuously makes the correct plays.
Yeah, he has been such a pleasure to watch since he got into the pro scene just a couple years ago. But you had a ton of moments like that where OpTic kind of went big, and I guess credit to Mutineers and the fact that you got smoked that bad on the first set of rotations. You're down like 100 points, and you make some big plays. You make it far more competitive. But just went down too big too early. But this is how the final standings played out for Group B. Atlanta FaZe go perfect at 5-0. OpTic right behind them at 4-1. And with that OpTic victory, it locks Guerrillas in that third place position. So top 3 will start in winner's bracket. Bottom 3 will start in loser's bracket. So for Legion, Ultra, and Mutineers, it is going to be a tough test. But what stands out to you the most maybe from that? For me, probably Ultra in 5th. That surprises me.
No, and Mutineers. I mean, right? Just how good they were.
Yeah.
I mean, the discussion was who out of those two was going to get third place. So for Guerrillas in Paris, they continuously got better. They got 2 wins, and well, that head-to-head tiebreaker comes through for Guerrillas.
It absolutely does, but that's going to do it for our second match. We still have one more coming up, and it's a banger because it's for first place in Group A. Before we get there, we're going to head to a break. On the backside of the break, you get to hang out Miles and Nameless.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty League. We are slowly but surely making our way through CDL Sunday here in the final day of Super Week. Very, very exciting series done and dusted there. OpTic versus Mutineers closed out. We've got 1 series left today. Dallas Empire versus LA Thieves. Smiles and Nameless on the desk here, ready to give you some intel. Actually, Nameless, I have a question for you straight up here, mate. Straight up, brother. Has your opinion, well, it's a double barrel question. Has your opinion of the Dallas Empire changed? And like, what are you anticipating from them in this upcoming series against LA Thieves?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to face the facts here. Dallas's last 3 games have not been pretty. They went to Game 5 in all 3 matches. They haven't had that impressive of like a win, like stamping onto that victory, aside from Surge, which hasn't been the greatest team by any means, right? So Dallas has been struggling, whether it's been Hardpoint, Search, and Destroy. And on the other side of this match, they're playing the LA Thieves, who are 6-1 in Hardpoint. Their Search and Destroy has looked great, and their Control, they're 3-1 as well. So this is an extremely tough match for Dallas, and I gotta lean towards the LA Thieves, man. They've been so impressive throughout this entire week. I think this is just a tall mountain to climb for Dallas.
It's a tall mountain indeed. I also think that Dallas, I mean, there is a supreme amount of pressure coming in as previous world champs, as current world champs, excuse me. And then also just the fact that, like, they started the year off so hot. They started off the year looking fantastic. We were laughing at other teams at some points. Now that has changed a lot. People are catching up. Everyone's gaining on them. And I think at this point in time, like, pressure's kicking in. Things are getting spicy. We'll see how long Dallas can keep riding that one, but you can never rest on your laurels. Now, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, the major is coming up this next week, March 3rd to 7th. Be sure to get that in your calendar again. That is all happening here on youtube.com/COD League, our first major of the year. Can you believe it? We are still in the process of working out the final seeds. And again, one more series will decide who falls atop their group. After the break, myself, I will be chatting to Dashy of OpTic to talk all things fun and games and see how that last series went from inside the green wall camp. Smile at the camera, Bruce. We'll be ready after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It's time for our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I am joined by the one and only Bruce Almighty Dashy of OpTic. Bro, welcome. Well done on the win. It was a hard-fought victory. How the boys doing?
We're doing great. I mean, we've been just grinding, obviously, since we've all moved to Texas, and the results are showing, so good.
Yeah, man, the results are showing. Like, I want to know, what is it like teaming with the squad now? Like, you've had different teams throughout the year and everyone seems to be having a really, really good time. Like, is that a major contributor to the success you're having?
I definitely think it plays a part of it if you're all getting along and just getting on every day wanting to play. I mean, it definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, man, right on. Like, again, like the grind is real. Everyone's looking fantastic. And now that you're locked in second seed, going into this in your group, like the tournament bracket is kind of starting to come together. How are you guys feeling going into the major? Because like, these sort of like Pro League, these sort of home series matches are very, very different to an actual tournament. Like, is there any different preparation you're doing going into that?
Not really. I mean, we're just going to prepare like how we've always been. Just clean up a little bit on our respawns and for sure just work on S&D going into the major.
S&D, man, right? It's on the tip of everyone's tongue. Everyone's always talking about OpTic S&D, but like, it doesn't look bad whatsoever. Like, you're all clutching up. Any changes you're making in search that you can share with us?
No.
Not
gotta
even
keep it low key. You know the smiles. You know the smiles. We gotta keep it low key.
I know this. Well, Bruce, thank you very much. There's one more question I have for you. Of course, there is some word on the street now that Bruce C, you're addicted to blue cheese.
Absolutely not. That is absolutely, that's a false rumor for sure. I actually despise blue cheese. So whoever did that, I don't really like that.
His nameless is full. But anyway, thank you very much, dudes. Thank you so much for chatting to us. We appreciate your time. Congrats again on the victory. We'll see you in the major.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Take care. Well, that's that. Our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight now comes to a close. All that remains is our Game Fuel marquee match now coming up. After this very quick break, we will pit the Los Angeles Thieves against the Dallas Empire. Let's close out CDL Super Week with a bang.